Hello, everybody, and welcome to the first map pool showcase of 5-Digit World Cup 2024. This qualifiers pool is going to be a bit of a longer one than most people are used to, so hang in there. My name is Taikani. Joining me today is Miles. Miles, how are you doing?
Good morning, Taikani. I am very glad to be back here in 5-Digit World Cup. Such a great tournament last year, and this is going to be, I think, the first official stream of this year, if not for the...
We did have the prediction stream yesterday.
Oh, true. So this is going to be the second official stream of the tournament this year. Glad to be back here on the Map Pool Showcases. That was such a good time last year, and now about to start the good time this year. We've got a bunch of map pools to do. I think this will be the consistent time on Monday around 16 UTC every week.
Yeah, 16, 17 UTC should be the time we shoot. I think next year next week, we might be a little more ambiguous on the time, just as we're figuring out around the seed reveal. But otherwise, this should be about the time every week that you're expecting.
So I guess we're gonna hop on right into it then. Nomad 1.
Kingslayer. So this one is it's a pretty standard pick in the pool. Pretty consistent 185 BPM aim. Map by Camellia. I do want to say there are going to be no customs in the qualifiers pool. So everything you're going to see here are existing maps. So we just went and we said we want a really, really standard, consistent aim map for this Nomad 1. And then, we'll kind of branch off from there.
And as Taikani mentioned earlier, you said it might be longer than your average qualifiers pool showcase. He is right. This qualifiers pool is going to be formatted in a 5-3-3-3 format. So that's quite a few maps for a qualifiers pool. 3 hiddens, 3 hard rocks. Typically you only see 2 of those in a qualifiers pool.
Yeah, we did have it listed. When registrations went up, we went and we said, like, here's the star ratings, and I think we said the number of slots as well. So I hope this doesn't jump scare people too much in terms of length. But back when we did the initial pooling meeting, determining how we were going to do it this year, we decided we wanted a bigger qualifiers pool for sort of a wider skill set test for this.
Yeah, I mean, so much effort people put in to get onto these teams. It'd be a shame if their skill sets weren't represented properly in the qualifiers. So I can understand that rationale, but it's going to be a long qualifier then.
Yeah. We, of course, did try to length balance maps. This is one of the longest maps in the pool, at 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Most things fall around the average of 2 minutes and 40, so, hopefully it doesn't play too long. There's just a lot of maps to play.
And I will say, this qualifiers pool, what I'm seeing on the sheet right now, it does break away from your conventional qualifiers format in more ways than one. And I think the one stereotype that I think I will preview being broken is qualifiers pools being as boring as they are, because there are some absolutely insane picks in this map pool, actually.
Yeah, there was a big... I definitely did a lot of complaining that certain maps weren't interesting enough when we pooled this qualifiers. There's one in particular I know you're looking at.
Yeah.
I'm very excited, for sure.
Yeah, no,
as boring as it gets for this pool.
I mean, yeah, it's your typical Nomad 1, but I think for qualifiers, nobody wants any different than that. Like, if it isn't, like, just a consistent, comfortable aim map, then something is being done wrong here, so... Yeah. Aim players, you're gonna be eating well on this one.
Yes, speaking of eating well, I do have to talk about the replays. As one replayer in specific ate really, really well, as every replay in this pool except for one is done by Lights Out.
The GOAT.
With the exception of Hidden Sue, Lights Out did everything.
That is the Lights Out map that he wouldn't do, so... Yeah. Makes sense. I also noticed because he's double tapping all the jumps. So get used to that. You're gonna see a lot of note lock on this stream. One of the few rare double tap mains.
Legend.
The other notable one from the US, I think, is Chitoge OP, but I don't know how often that guy plays anymore. Oh my god, those 1/3s at the end. Gonna be a huge choke point.
The ending of this map is especially tough, which is interesting because as it's right at the end, that's when your score climb is the most noticeable. So you can get unlucky. You have to realize that that ending can be really, really tough. But that is No Mod 1.
Now, No Mod 2, we've got Versailles, mapped by Dynamo. Song by Kushper. Isn't that an Osu player?
Actually don't know.
I think that's a Dutch Osu player.
Yeah, this is a custom song for Dokuro-chan. So, yeah, I think so.
Cool. Got some Osu-made musical talent here on the No Mod 2. And as the No Mod 1 was a normal No Mod 1, here is your normal stream map in No Mod 2. I would say, if it weren't for some of these expanding streams.
Yeah, this one, we wanted to put a huge focus on the flow aim more so than like stamina. This is 180 BPM. A lot of the tapping stamina focused picks will come later on, especially in the DT pool. So with this one, it was, let's find shapes for streams, right? Let's make sure that the flow aim is really what's tested in this map.
Yep, and that's about what you're testing the most when you have the streams that have these spacings that change in the middle of the stream, you know? Such an opportunity to note lock when you have to speed up and slow down your cursor speed in the middle of a stream. Hi, Rob.
Yeah. Hi, Rob. A beautiful streamer, Rob. Shout out to that guy.
Yeah, shout out Robert. Love that guy.
Yeah, this is another one where there's not too much to talk about, which, of course, that will change soon, but it's the exponential stream No Mod 2, and it stays consistent in that all throughout.
So I guess as we're in a bit of downtime here, Tycandy, I wasn't at the seed prediction yesterday. Are there any teams in this year's tournament that you really have your eye on? Like, just for a quick little chat?
Maybe famously, I'm really looking at the USA team this year.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of have to, as both like big USA tournament guys. Like, always have to look at USA. Finally, ZFR's on that team this year.
Yeah, I actually still got the flag up behind me from yesterday. It's beautiful. Yeah, that team is looking really good. The Canadian team as well. All of us unanimously agreed to be probably the favorite to take the entire tournament. So it's interesting. It's a very NA-dominated 5WC this year.
Does Canada have Plute, is my one question.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, that's messed up. That guy is so good.
Yeah, Plute and Birchman both are huge players for the Canadian roster. Okay,
yeah, that's a little bit scary, just a little bit scary. I mean, I've seen those guys be competitive in open rank even. So yeah, crazy stuff. Maybe get that that regional matchup for grand finals, just like there was in 4-Digit World Cup last year.
So awesome. I love NA matchups.
Yeah, I mean, we get to commentate at 8 p.m. instead of 8 a.m.
Yes! I told it a little bit on the prediction stream yesterday, but I still have my 7 a.m. alarm is the object timestamp of a slider that UC2 missed on because I was really mad that I had to wake up at 7 a.m. because of UC2 missing that one slider.
What the heck? That's actually Saeko. Okay, so that's going to be No Mod 2. Quite a long stream map, but nevertheless, BPM pretty low. Shouldn't be too stamina intensive for your No Mod 2 players. And now, on to No Mod 3.
And No Mod 3, this was one of the 2 maps that we switched out just the other day. Most of the qualifiers pool actually stayed intact from our original pooling session. This one changed out. I think the other one, if I recall, was too hard? It was a difficult to concern, so we went with this one. This is also Lights Out lowest score in the replays, if I recall. Because it's 153 BPM alt, which is not exactly the most comfortable in the world.
Yeah, and also, you know, when you're a double tap player, having to alt is kind of against your skill set entirely.
Yeah. Yeah, this replay is from like last night, by the way, so there wasn't much time to replace it.
Mm-hmm.
But this one is very consistent in the flow control. Like, you have a lot of these like longer flow patterns with a bit of aim control between them.
Mm-hmm. Kind of synonymous with the style that ajmosca has really developed for himself in mapping these alt maps.
I think this one was a Hydron set, top diff from my tournament, Wonderland Cup. And so he just got other people from Wonderland Cup to try and work on the set with him, which is wonderful. Got AJ to do this diff, which I actually hadn't seen before we pulled it, but I love this diff. This is super cool.
Mm-hmm. Kind of reminds me of some of the diffs of this on the ranked set of this song.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And it's so consistently difficult, too. There's never really a point where this map really gives you a chance to catch your breath. You just have to keep trucking on, which keeps it terrifying.
Mm-hmm, yeah, especially with some of these patterns overlapping on themselves, like, just so much chance to note lock on some of these patterns.
Yeah. There's also those, like, little 1/6 finger control bits. Those are kind of brutal.
Mm-hmm, definitely, I think, not sight readable. I think you just need a few practice attempts to really get them down. But if you're sight reading some of those finger control patterns, or don't know the song changes like that, then you're going to be in for a little bit of pain on those.
Yeah, for sure. This one also one of the longest maps in the pool. 3 minutes 31, like song length 325 drain time. Yeah, this is fairly long. So just generally keeping with the no mod pool being the consistency pool almost in terms of length. Which, I mean, at this speed and at the consistent difficulty that this keeps, this makes it one of the hardest maps in the pool for sure.
Mm-hmm. And I can see that. I mean, just so much to challenge you on this map. And if you're like lights out and don't have good accuracy, then you really need to keep the combo with everything you have, because, you know, when you have low combo and low accuracy, you're going to be looking at a full lobby of 300Ks. And that is not what you want on a qualifiers pool. I mean, I guess that's a little bit more important when there's fewer maps, but there's so many maps in this pool that, even with how difficult this map is, if you manage to tank it, there's going to be enough maps rest in the pool for you to get that average back up.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't the only sort of like alt-styled map in the pool, so there's a chance for redemption later on for sure.
Mm-hmm.
This one is going to be difficult, and a lot of teams are going to struggle on it, but it's not going to be end-all, be-all. But that, it's going to be No Mod 3, and we're going to move on into No Mod 4. This one additionally kind of challenging that aim control component. This was the second of the two maps that we swapped out midweek. This background is so funny. This background is the whole reason why I remembered this map in the first place and why I put it in.
Dude. I can't. I feel like if I were to play this in a match, I would look at the background and I would just start laughing and I would miss the whole first half of the map.
Oh yeah, imagine being me, playing this in tournament for the first time as someone who doesn't play with 100% background dim. This was hilarious to try and play on.
Oh, yep, this
and you know what? They made it fit with the diff name, so can't even blame them.
Mm-hmm. Heatwave map, right?
Yeah.
Yep, very, I think...
for ANZT, I think?
Very underrated tech mapper, I think.
Yes.
Like, I think the one map most people know him for is that Camellia song, Machine Gun Psy Style, I think is a part of the song name.
Mm-hmm.
But then outside of that, you don't really see too many people mentioning a lot of his maps, but his tech maps are very nice to play.
Yeah, it is unfortunate. I've really liked Heatwave for a long time, so I hope Heatwave maps get more recognition over time. I think he's one of the best mappers in Australia. And super good at making this super challenging tech. The big thing that we went for on this one was this combination of the aim control at 174 BPM and the constant, like, slider and hitting, right? We wanted this to be the slider aim pick of the pool.
And it definitely does that well. Also, finally being on the shorter side, this map is already 3/4 of the way done, so Definitely a lot more, I think, intensive on the difficulty than, say, the last few maps in the pool were.
Yeah, we had another No Mod 4 that had the opposite problem where it was too short with how long it was difficult. Like it had difficulty for sure, and it was a cool act challenge, but that difficulty only lasted for like 1 minute. So we replaced it with this, which is a little bit longer in that sense, where you have about 1 minute 40 of difficult drain. And I think it works really well for the pool. I think this is a good like short no mod pick.
Alright everyone, I need you all to pre-write your PogChamps in the chat for the next map because this is the most insane thing I have ever seen in a qualifiers pool coming up. No Mod 5, Bokusatsu Tenshi by Daramok. This is the best thing that you have ever done, by the way, Taikani. This is the best thing you and the pooling team have ever done, and I don't want you to ever forget that.
This one was very, very divisive with the playtesters.
Yeah, no. I can see you might have gotten some death threats for this, but I would just want you to know that you're in the right.
Shoutouts to Alex for pooling this. We had decided like halfway through pooling, we were like, we're just gonna save No Mod 5 till the end. We're gonna see what we need for that slot. And when we reached the end, we were just like looking at it, and Alex just said, "All right, we're putting a Daramok map in."
Alright, here's the sliders. By the way, this is an edit version that toned down the slider ticks, but nonetheless,
yeah.
Sliders on this are difficult to hit, to say the least.
Yeah, the diff name on stream is wrong. It will be a different diff name uploaded, just called Tick 2. But
yeah, oh, yep, here they come, part 2.
As soon as Miles took a look at the pool, he immediately started going, "Why is this in the pool?"
I love this. I love this. I just wish this were in a bracket stage pool and not a qualifiers pool so we could actually watch it on stream. But
yeah.
Nonetheless, I think you all should have a lot of fun with this map, whether the fun be in actually playing it or just the hilarious song, actually.
This is me officially encouraging you. If you're playing at 5WC qualifiers, please stream on Twitch and please play this map. I need to see it.
Yeah, let us laugh our asses off watching you play it.
What a map. Yeah, that's the most exciting map in the No Mod pool by far, but we're gonna quickly move on into Hidden 1. This is my personal favorite map in the pool. I just think this map is so fun.
The Fairies Adventurous Tale mapped by Ice Cult. I think this is a classic song, I would say, in Osu at this point, right? The Kidley set. Kidley set has a lot of power in my mind.
This one, this was custom mapped as a No Mod 5 for an older Corsair's Open, which is really funny to me because this is just an A map.
Slightly higher BPM though. I believe this is somewhere in the realm of 220 or 230 without looking at the actual map. So it's not your typical Hidden 1 with, you know, the slow, awkward aim. You've got a lot of mechanics on this as well. If you can't tap those 220 BPM bursts, you might not have a great time on this map.
Yeah, there's like 2 or 3 longer bursts that can absolutely mess your day up. We wanted to go for that sort of, hey, here's an aim map, but we don't want it to just be a repeat of No Mod 1. We don't want like a nebulous, awkward aim. So that's why we went with the higher BPM burst to introduce more density to it and to kind of reward aim players for being comfortable aiming on this BPM by having the burst that will set people trying to cheese it apart.
Hi, Kenny. You know what I'm seeing in this map? I'm seeing a map that requires a lot of aim and also a lot of tapping, and that's where I'd like to introduce our sponsors for this year's 5-Digit World Cup, Momokai and Blue Bunny. This year, Momokai is back, and they're bringing us a custom 5WC tap trio. So if you are not able to tap these bursts, if your poopy-ass keyboard is not enough, get that 5WC tap trio and shred through this map. And Blue Bunny, our new sponsor, makes high-quality tablet covers at a fraction of the price of the usual market rate. So if you can't aim this, if your tablet is too scratched up, get yourself one of those Blue Bunny tablet covers and start shredding through this map all the way.
I launched out of my seat, man. I was wondering when you were gonna pull it. I think the Miles ad reads are an infamous part of 5W.
Yeah, I saw it. I was like, I gotta get this out of the way now. This map is perfect.
Yeah.
I
And so
love
are our
code
sponsors.
5WC.
Yeah, yeah, shout out to the sponsors. Shout out to this map. We'll move on into Hidden 2.
Hidden 2, believe should be your AR8 map or your reading map of some sort.
Yes. This is AR8 consistency is kind of the theme of this one. This is
Arcadia.
our one non-lights out replay as well. This one, Emerald Ages replay. So congratulations to Emerald Ages for breaking the curse.
Advent map on a Gazimel set. Name a better pairing.
Yeah, I love the Advent AR8 difficulties. There's an unwelcome school difficulty that Advent did. I think also for a Gazimel set that I absolutely love to fool into Hidden 2.
Honestly, I just love this pairing of mappers. Like, I think both of them make a lot of very tourney viable maps.
Yeah.
And this map, no exception to that. 4-minute AR8 consistency.
Yeah, this one is not the okay. I thought it was the longest map in the pool. There's actually one more. Hard Rock 1 is the longest map in the pool, but the idea was that the rest of Hidden will balance it out by having a 2-minute map alongside this. So Hidden runs about an average of 3 minutes. So hopefully this shouldn't be like too long of a Hidden pool with this map.
Now, Taikani, do you know off the top of your head if each team has 1 or 2 qualifier runs on this pool?
1 run.
Yep, that would make sense with how long the pool is, so you have to make sure your focus is on point for the entire qualifiers lobby run through. With how long a lot of these maps are, you really gotta make sure you're on point for the entire qualifiers run through.
Yeah. Luckily, with this Hidden 2 specifically, it doesn't lean too far into you must be a reading player to play this. Maybe Bokusatsu Tenshi is a little more on that side. Not exactly a reading map, but rewards the reading players a little bit more. This one is more just your consistency in being able to read AR8, not necessarily appealing to the specialist of the skill set. Oh. They killed him. They killed Miles. Oh my god! What did they do to him?
Yep, my Discord.
We missed you, man.
Yeah, no, my Discord decided it didn't want to hear your talk about this map and just decided to just freeze into oblivion.
That's fair. I would crash if I had to hear me talk about Hidden 2 too.
Yeah, I mean, 4-minute Hidden 2, I think a lot of players would rather see literally anything else.
Oops. Nice song though. It's, you know, chill Japanese rock.
And map also looks very chill. There's no pattern in this map that looks like it's way too hard. I think anyone who's a really seasoned AR8 player should be able to get a good score on this, despite its length.
Yeah. I think a lot of the milestones that I set when we did this pool was like, can I play this? Not can I FC this, absolutely not, but if I can play this Hidden 2, it's what we're looking for. As someone who just cannot read AR8, I was still able to get like 200k, and I was like, alright, yeah, that's good. That's what we were looking for, was just that consistency. That's what mattered. But that, reaching the end of the map now, finally, after 4 minutes long. Drain time of 3:52, so not that long of a break in the map. That's the whole thing. That's our Hidden 2. Never have to look at it again.
Unless you're a player, then you're going to have to start looking at it soon, but
Yeah,
our
sorry.
Hidden 3 is going to have a lot lower drain time, for anyone who's worried about that. We've got Jazz's Rad, AncuL's Expert, and Lights Out Ack.
Yeah, this was another one of the really late last night replays. We did joke early on in the replay thread about just having like a collection of replays of us playing terribly. I think I got like an 80k on DP2 for that. But we ended up not going with it, with the exception of this Hidden 3, because just nobody else submitted a replay except for Lights Out.
Yo, we get to watch the GOAT in action.
Hell
So yeah, this map, kind of an alt-tech hybrid, something that's, I'd say, pretty standard for the Hidden 3 slot at this point. A lot of people really like these more hybrid tech maps in this slot. And I can't blame them, because this type of map is very fun and intuitive on Hidden.
Yeah, it definitely is a Hidden comfort test. Like, if you don't play Hidden regularly, this is going to trip you up, especially this section right here where it's just that little bit harder to read. Which I really like. I really wanted that Hidden comfort test where Hidden 1, it's barely a Hidden map at all. It's kind of just there. Hidden 2 is just AR8 comfort, so this one is meant to reward like the Hidden mains right here.
This map has a lot of aim control in it as well, so gotta make sure that is on point with some of those variable spaced bursts. I would say to a much higher extent than the No Mod 2, the flow aim is going to be even more intense on this one.
Yeah, this was the other one where we really wanted to push those flow aim and aim control elements to the max. Where we don't really see those from this point onwards. We except for, I guess, Hard Rock 3, a lot of stuff is a little more focused on either traditional aim or tapping rather than flow aim control.
And now we have to shout out Lights Out getting 620k with 84.7%.
That's the GOAT.
That is the GOAT in action right there. An insane score from him. But that's going to do it for our Hidden pool. On to Hard Rock 1 now.
So
Another
Hard Rock
classic.
1, we decided, like, I think 2 maps into pooling, we were like, yeah, let's just do Mech Tech.
Yes, sir.
That term was, I feel like it was born here in 5WC. Let's just do Mech Tech.
I think it was born here. I think that's when I started saying it. Yeah, this map, a classic. Bassdrop Freaks, the remix version of it. Lasse's diff with Hard Rock. I think most people know this set for the top diff, but this set also very tournament, or this diff also tourney viable.
Yeah. And this one, far and away now, finally the longest map in the pool, and from here on out, every map is under 3 minutes. This one, 430, we wanted, because there's not, like, with how big this pool is, you'd expect one more tech map, so this was kind of the solution to that was, let's have something that's almost tech. It's not really tech, but there's those little bit of elements you see, like those slider streams and the kick sliders kind of mix it up in the key eyes, but otherwise not crazy techy.
Is it time to explain the definition of mech tech to the chat? For anyone who was not here last year, mech tech is something more akin to what we used to call tech back in like 2018, with a lot of kick slider jumps, a lot of streams, but not necessarily anything too aim control intensive or reading intensive. So mechanical tech.
Yeah, you have a lot of those mechanical elements. You know, this map does have some points where it really does feel like an A map at some points. And otherwise you have like those not crazy sliders. The slider aim on this map isn't anything of note, but it certainly does have those tech elements that most people would say is techy. And some people will just say that, oh, this is just tech.
I mean, if you put me in a time capsule from 2018, I would say this is very much a tech map.
Oh yeah. I have an old Google Doc from 2020 when I started playing again of maps that I wanted to pass. This would absolutely be labeled tech on that. No question about it. Alongside, for some reason, High Score was labeled tech. I think that was just because of the song, honestly, because it's just an aim map.
Yeah, if I'm gonna be honest, I feel like the song really dictated what we would call a map back then.
Oh, for sure. Like, oh, this is the guy who made Exit the Surface Homosphere. That must mean it's tech.
Also, for the 2 people who love Nanahira in the chat, I am with you.
I think every pooler except one didn't want this map because of the song.
Honestly, this is one of the more tolerable ones, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, But even then, I feel well, this might be my least favorite Camellia featuring Nanahira. I think Camellia is really good at using Nanahira for like a unique sound. This one, not so much. Very much the Nanahira sound you kind of expect.
I don't know, this map for me is just kind of a bit of nostalgia, you know? I think OWC 2018 was one of the most intense grand finals of all time, and seeing Bubbleman full combo the top diff in the match, although I was rooting for the USA in that match, this holds a lot of notoriety to me.
Sometimes you gotta hand it to him. Sometimes the score is just that sick. Yeah, Bubbleman is such a good player. I love those OWC scores where it's like, how are you doing that with this much pressure?
I see in chat, I feel like the only part people will break on is the slider streams. I think you'd be surprised. Mech Tech is really like kind of an HR litmus test, I think, for the mod. Like,
yeah.
Although there's not really a specific thing I feel like people are gonna break on, the fact that this map is 4 minutes throws a lot of different types of stuff at you. Like, this is the type of map where you might break on a different thing every single time you play through it. So, like, it might look easy, but definitely still breakable. I mean, we just hit 2K combo.
We did. The combo in this map is so long. It's so big. I actually remember before I played this map while we were pooling it, I had already said no because of the combo, and we just restructured the pool to fit this. But initially I said absolutely not because this has 2,000 combo. It's so long.
All right, now on to another shorter map, Hard Rock 2. Fiction, non-fiction, mapped by Garden.
Apparently this one's a Corsace custom from 2022, which I don't remember. But
I also don't remember.
Map. Yeah, Corsace Open 2022, round of 32, Hard Rock 2. But yeah, it worked. It's great.
Crazy how, I know I've been saying it's crazy how 5 digits are like getting up to like open rank difficulty for a while now. I specifically remember the OWC 2021, I think, Hard Rock 1 from finals in the grand finals pool last year. Yeah, Gemini. I remember Gemini Hard Rock last year, but like now, low stage 5 digit tournament is overlapping a bit with low stage in open rank just a few years ago.
Yeah, I mean, do keep in mind, this is around the difficulty of quarterfinals is this qualifiers, but even then, like, the overlap is becoming more and more apparent over time, which is just crazy. And I mean, it makes sense that we have, like, real open rank contenders in this 5WC, so, you know, maybe there's a point to it, right? Like, 5 digits are getting better, and it's terrifying.
Yeah, I mean, you just mentioned Plute and Birch, man. Like, I've seen those two playing open rank NA tournaments, open rank Canadian tournaments, and like, both holding their own very well in those. If not even being hard hitters. So like, you know.
Too much to say about this map. It's very much focused on 6.5 aim. We wanted something that had a lot of those like high spacing moments. Precision, you can kind of take it a couple different ways, and you're just like, we want to focus on that pure aim direction for this one. A great song as well. I had not heard this song before we pulled this, but this is great. School Food Punishment is good, and I need to just listen to them because everything I've heard from them is great.
Yeah, same here. Like, I haven't listened to too much School Food Punishment, but the songs I have heard are very good.
Yeah. And in case you've been paying attention to the Hard Rock pool, we've not had anything like tapping related yet. There are small tapping elements in both this and Hard Rock 1, but they're just kind of bursts. Hard Rock 3 is where we invested all the tapping in the Hard Rock pool.
Hard Rock 3 is, I think, the next most hilarious map in the pool after the No Mod 5.
Yeah.
Like, that map is another all-certified tournament classic coming up in the Hard Rock 3. And anyone who knows this map will know why. So, let's get right to it. Hard Rock 3. We've got Zeitmesser by Zetera. 92% FC by Lights Out, and I think that will be your baseline score for this. 92% full combo is basically what you're hoping for on this map.
It was a little bit of a silly choice. I won't lie.
Yep, just a little bit silly, you know. I feel like this was kind of one of the first, like, finger control maps you would really see in a tournament that was outside of the DT pool. I mean, like, I've seen this pooled in No Mod Hidden and Hard Rock, and all the same, people would be getting really poor accuracy.
Yeah, we really wanted an ACK check in the Hard Rock pool because the Hard Rock 1 and 2 are just not it. Those are combo checks, right? Like, this one had to be so focused on the accuracy, so we went, you know what? Rhythm control. Fuck you. Play it, right? Like, this was meant to be the huge Hard Rock challenge, where you're gonna have very few people on your team who are anywhere close to comfortable with this, and that was kind of the point. This is the low score map of the pool, I feel.
I feel like your seasoned Hard Rock players are gonna get good scores on this, but this is really the part right here. If you can combo through this part, I think you should be FCing the map. Because it's like, if nobody's getting good ACK on this, it's gonna be a combo game map, and I think true mechanically speaking, this map is not too difficult, but just getting through it with the combo is going to be the most important thing here.
Yeah. It is going to be interesting. I can't wait to see the average accuracies on this map once qualifier results go up.
And you see these awkward doubles at the ending, maybe the next most, I guess, challenging spot of the map. But still, if you can combo up to there and get a break, you're still probably going to be getting around 750k on this, which would be a pretty good score, I think, for this map.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Hard Rock 3.
Double time. It is time for the double time.
Yeah, this is where all the speed went. All three maps in this pool have some sort of speed element. DT1, the least of which, this one's mostly aim, but at 262 BPM, AR 10.3, and a lot of burst scattered throughout, this does have a lot of a speed challenge to it.
Yeah, with the lack of, to say it better, I guess a dedicated speed map in the entire rest of the map pool, it would make sense for the whole DT pool to be chock full of speed. So definitely expect to see some tapping in the next couple maps.
Yeah, 10.3 is interesting. We saw a little bit of this with 5WC last year, and we decided, like, let's continue that. We're getting to the point where 10.3 is so commonplace in tournaments, and 5 digits are getting better. Like, there's no real reason at this point not to have 10.3 scattered throughout the tournament, and early rounds we probably won't have 10.3 at least as much. But we really wanted to put 10.3 in qualifiers to test that high AR reading.
Yeah, I remember last year we didn't really go for AR 10.3 until, I think, like, quarters. So it makes sense to, I think, add it here this year as well, because, as you said, everyone is getting better.
Yeah. Although, I feel like generally this map is pretty standard. It's mostly just the AR and the BPM that's going to mess with people. It's not like a crazy different map in any sense. It's just your standard aero game map, right? Like, there's nothing crazy about it.
As I like to call it, it is a DT player's map. If you play DT, you're probably gonna like this map to any capacity.
Yeah.
Now, will it be...
This one was also like the, I'm pretty sure Ed Bones pooled this just based off of the song, because I know he wanted an Aerogay song in the pool, and he wasn't gonna let us not do it.
Respectable, honestly. Now, you know, I don't know if this is going to be the highest average score map like most DT1s and qualifiers are, but... And I think that's a little bit because of just the 5-digit player dynamic where, you know, if you play speed, you're naturally going to rank up really quickly, so there's just fewer speed players in this rank range. But
yeah.
Still, very simple, shouldn't really trip up any DT players.
Yeah, overall, shouldn't be crazy difficult for people comfortable with the skill set, and that's the point, right? Like, we wanted the DT pool to not be uninviting to DT players, just given how uninviting the pool, the rest of the quals pool is to DT players. Like, you very much have to be comfortable with your specific mod. So all of the DT maps have speed in some sort. which we are going to move on to DT2 in that sense, which is our speed, stamina, Christ, and combat. This one, it's not crazy on the speed element, but the 230 BPM streams will get to you by the end of this map.
This is, as we like to call it, the stamina map. Gotta rev up your chainsaw for this one because it is just stamina all the way through. And I mean, I've seen this at open rank tournaments as well. This is a very, I think, tourney core sort of DT2, as we like to call it.
Yeah, for sure. This DT2 is... this was feeding the speed players, right? It's like, here's your comfort food, speed players. We've been treating you so poorly for the entire rest of the pool. Here's your one. You get this.
I'm seeing that this is in grands in 5WC 2021 apparently, which is insane.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, we are putting grand finals maps in qualifiers 3 years later.
I think our rule that we set out was that 2021 and before we could start repooling. I actually don't remember exactly what the rule is, but I think that was it.
Yeah. But yeah, this pure speed check in the pool definitely coming in this map. Pure speed and stamina, I'd like to say, if you don't consider the Nomad 2 to be very stamina intensive.
Yeah. And this one is, like, really consistent difficulty. This is the only real break from it that you get. And then you're immediately just thrown back into it.
And that right there is probably the only jump section of the map. And you only need to be on 1/4 of the screen. Speed players rejoice, no aim in your stream maps.
Yeah, you got all the speed aim last map, it's okay.
Yeah, these repeat sliders in this map really add a lot of, I think, underrated finger control element in this map, because you can't really just be mashing your way through them, because then otherwise you're going to find the break on the repeat slider. But that's going to do it for DT2. Now, DT3 is the third funniest map in the pool on the Miles funny scale. After Bokusatsu Tenshi, after the other map, here is Desire Truth World. That's a diff name. This is Desire Blue Sky, map by Kuyusu, and this map is an aim control DT pick with a very light stamina drain and a very intense finger control drain, I would say.
Yeah, we really wanted this to be the exclusive finger control. Aim control, it is a little difficult on this map, but it shouldn't be too crazy hard. Really, it should be the 215 finger control that's giving most players their troubles. Aim control is really only going to catch people out who aren't especially comfortable with DT, I think.
You're not acknowledging that the last pattern of the map is quite literally unhittable.
Okay, that's true.
There is
the last pattern of the map.
The last pattern of this map is quite literally unhittable, by the way. But otherwise, I would say the aim control is fair, but still there on the last pattern of each chorus section. There is a burst that is going to be really testing out your aim control. But, like, you see the shapes of these bursts. Like, This is not conventional whatsoever when it comes to the aim. You have to be really in control with your flow aim and your tapping on this. But I think it's fair. Definitely fair until the last pattern. The last pattern of this map, if you can FC it in match, then... I did this last year. Last year I said if you hit this in match, I'll give you $5 PayPal, and nobody did. Do I say it again?
That's risky because it's quals, right? Like...
Oh yeah, there's gonna be literally like hundreds of players playing this.
Yeah, that's a little scary. You should say that.
I don't think I'm gonna say it. I don't think I will.
There is 64 teams in qualifiers. But if you do hit it, you're cool, and you can send the replay. That's
yeah, if you do hit it, go in general and ping me with the clip of you hitting the last pattern specifically, and I will be very proud of you. But yeah, second chorus section, not going to be too different from the first one.
Yeah. This is my second favorite song in the pool, by the way. I love this song. God, I love Desire Blue Sky. I've never read, I can't even remember its name. This, but I love this song, dude. Chaos Head, that's what it is.
Yeah, such a banger.
Unfortunately, I have yet to delve into the science adventures, which I've always been meaning to do, but just haven't got around to.
All right, everyone now. Everyone keep your eyes peeled for the last pattern of the map. It's coming up right now. Bang.
Oh,
that is so dumb. Lights Out hit it. He hit it by going through the middle, but like if your reading is like mine where you don't want to like cheese it and you want to wiggle it, you're not going to have a good time on it. So maybe follow Lights Out on this one and go in the middle there, but otherwise that's going to be it for our qualifiers pool.
All I'm saying is I wiggled it. I hit it.
He did hit it. He did hit it, you know. I try to read it properly. I also play this map with hidden, so.
That's a lot harder.
Yeah, hidden DT on that pattern is really mean.
But yeah, that's the pool. 5-3-3-3 again. So that's, you know, one extra map per mod than is standard for a lot of pools. But that's finally it. We've reached it 45 minutes in. You know, good luck on your qualifiers matches. The pool is now on the sheet, so you can go ahead and check our main sheet. I believe exclamation point sheet in the chat will give you the link, and you can see the pool. You can now also schedule your lobbies. The latest possible schedule is Sunday at 23:59 UTC. That means past Monday 0 UTC. You cannot schedule your lobby anymore. So make sure that you are ready to schedule before then, and I think that should be it.
Yeah, that's going to be it. Thank you all for watching. Go look at the map pool on the sheet. Go ping your team. It's time to get ready. 5WZ has now officially begun. So I wish you all the best of luck, and I hope you all have a good rest of your day or night, wherever you are.
Yeah, and we'll see you next week.